Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Pradeep. I work at Emirates and I am a software engineer over there. Earlier, I used to work on Java, and as time move ahead, I'm switched to Python. And these days, I'm trying to tinker with AI and LLMs. I'll talk about observability for AI agents which are written in Langchain. I know I got to know today that few people are not liking Langchain, but for the starters, it's a very good framework to just tinker around and get things up and running. So for the starters, it good. For the advanced ones, they won't like it. So I will put it like that way. um, the application that I'm going to talk about is AI agent, and our agenda for today is I'll just talk about three ways of monitoring our agent, what it is doing and how it is doing. So just for the starters, think of it as one chatbot that one user has put. Okay, I'm traveling to London and I want to know what clothes I should pack for my trip. So inside AI agent, I'm using ChatGPT APIs or OpenAI APIs, and it's built on Langchain. It will try to find out which tool I'm going to use. In AI agents terminology, tools are something external from LLMs, and these LLMs will try to figure out how how the LLM should call uh, these these agents, and then um, these tools, sorry, and then it will take the output from one tool and pass it on to the other one. For example, we have weather tool, and then from weather tool we are using one API, and then after getting the response we are passing or LLM is passing it to weather to the clothing suggestion tool, and then we are getting all the clothing related information, and LLM will just wrap around and send it to the user. Okay, you are traveling, get this done, like you should take light clothes and all. I'll show the code first because I'm gonna do some changes in my code. I have written some scripts to save some keystrokes and save some time. So I'll sit now. So this is just single one file, and inside this file, I'm reading some of the API keys from the operating system environment, and then I'm using two tools. Inside this tool, I'm using one external API for which I have some key in my environment variable. I have OpenAI key in my environment variable as well. Now, going ahead, I'll just define the instances of these two tools and pass it on to the agent that I'm creating. Now, this agent that I'm creating, it is done with, again, Langchain, and I'll just ask the user where you are traveling to, and then I'll just do some string embedding and then pass it on to LLM. In real life scenario, what you want to do is you will put in proper proper prompts, or you do a lot of prompt engineering. I'll just show when you are running this, it will call OpenAPI a couple of more times. So just to save on the cost, how we can leverage the prompt engineering, I have not included that in our demo. So for now, I'll just run this one. I hope everyone can see now. So it is asking me where you are traveling. I'll say I'm traveling to London. Now something is happening behind the scenes, and we get the output as wear comfortable layers and warm clothing. How did it happen? To know that, we can tell Langchain that it needs to be verbose, and verbose setting we can use in our dev environment. I'm just gonna do that right away. That is our first way of doing it. So from here, I'm just turning on the verbose logging. So we'll get to know what is happening behind. Now I have made the changes. I'm just going to run it again. So this time let's again go to London. But now you are seeing that it is throwing a lot more logs than the previous states. It tells me uh, when the agent executor is starting, and then what it is analyzing or reasoning, and then which tool it is deciding to use. So in this case, first it is using weather tool, inside which I am calling an external API, and then it is using one cloth clothing suggestion tool, and I'm just using one dummy string matching. I'm not calling any API. I'm just checking whether it's cold, whether it's warm. So some switch cases, if and else, and then it just throws away some random predefined string. Now we have seen how to do that in dev environment, but in case of production environment, we can use something known as callback handlers. Now, handlers are something that are provided by Langchain ecosystem, and using those callback handlers, we can actually integrate the logs to external systems. For example, if your organization is using ELK stack or Logstash or some other thing for that matter, Datadog or something else. So you can just use their distribution of Python or whatever the programming language you are using, and send the logs to your logging environment. So we'll just quickly have a look on the example. So now I'm going to copy paste some of the code so that I don't have to type in lot of things. So I'm going to import one uh, callback manager from the module callbacks manager from the Langchain. Oh, sorry. Let me try again. Should I pull it out or what happened?
Just go to that this thing again. Find. Okay. That's what's gone.
Oh. It's starting. Okay, so I'm gonna import. Hopefully it works now. And then I'm going to define my custom callback handler. I can do that over here. Okay, this particular class I have pre-written it. So I'll show you what are the different methods over here. So there is one method on LLM start. What happens whenever uh, it gets a callback, like any of the LLM that we are using? For our case, we are using OpenAPI API. So this particular method will get fired. Now I'm just printing it on the console. Instead of that, I can send it somewhere else, call some REST API, do some stuff, call another tool, something like that. So similar to it, we have couple of more methods like on LLM end, and then when a particular tool will start, assume that whether tool is going to start, this particular event handler will get called by the underlying framework, and then inside this method we can do anything that we want. I'm just passing this callback manager to the actual LLM object that we are creating. And in addition to that, I'll pass this callback manager to the actual agent that we are creating. So it goes inside both the methods or objects for agent and for LLM both. Now we are almost done. Verbose will be true. We can switch it off for the time being so that we know which method is getting called. We'll turn it on in a bit. I'll just zoom in and then I'll try to run it again. Where are you from? You are from? That's really difficult to spell. I'll go to London again. Okay.
That's what you call a scripted business.
So just see. Uh, Over here we are getting the logs like callback and all. Uh, Now inside this method, inside these logs, you will get a lot of the information that you can use to debug. Because when LLMs are in production, they do really crazy stuff. We sometimes to explain them is really really difficult, and there are a lot of papers around and a lot of research going in explainability. So uh, for our case as a developer, we can just write it down somewhere so that we can come back and see what happened at that moment. Now, this was the second part. We used callbacks or events to write it somewhere. Now, okay, and now this I can write to somewhere wherein I can go and check what if there was some tool which is ready-made and I can readily use it somehow. Now, Lang Smith from the Langchain ecosystem comes in the scenario and it says, okay, you just use my APIs, and then I'm gonna give you a very nice interface wherein you can check what are the different logs that you're passing to me, and what are the different um, API calls, how much you are spending, so on and so forth. We'll just quickly have a look on that. I'll just do the changes on code before the battery dies out. So I have this. I am not gonna do this again. I'll copy paste these two lines. So just now pay attention. What I'm doing over here is, instead of creating the callback manager, I am just going to use Langchain tracer that I am importing from somewhere, which is already present for us. And then I will pass this particular object for in the tracers. I just need to add one more line. Okay. So this callback manager again goes to both LLM and the actual agent. And inside this callback manager, we are using the tracer from Langchain tracer. And actually, if you think about it, what it is just a wrapper around the uh, Langchain library, and it uses the same callback methods, but just creates a really nice UI for us. So let's run this again. This time we'll travel to Delhi. Now let's see how's the weather in Delhi. It gave us some output, and now what we can do is I can open the Langsmith UI. These are the logs when I was tinkering around today. And just now, we got some more logs pushed to our panel. And from here, I can figure out what are the different API calls that have gone to chat OpenAI and so on and so forth. How much I have spent over here, these are the dollars that I have spent, how many tokens I passed on to the Open API, and so on and so forth. So when I talk about clothing suggestion, which is my local tool, I have spent zero money and zero tokens because it didn't go out of my laptop or my network. So for this demo, that was all. And uh, thank you, everyone.
Take two questions.
Any questions?
Does it account for spelling?
Sorry?
Does it account for spelling as well?
No.
Like, say,
We can
Delhi, I just type DHLI.
we can try that. Most probably the LLM will try to correct it from the wrong response from the weather API, but I have not tried it. Let's do that.
Or say, for example, like instead of Delhi, I type Mumbai, but
Mhm.
someone else could type Bombay.
Yeah,
Is it able to account for that
Uh,
and get the weather data according?
this particular case will depend on the weather API. Yeah, because it is able to match Madras and Chennai, Bombay and Mumbai, but we can try that. I'll just say Delhi.
It's going to go to somewhere in US.
Yeah, looks like. So
Okay, like here's Delhi. The answer picked up Delhi.
now two eyes. In Delhi. Yeah, it's correct. Yeah, it's correct over here. So some sort of auto correction is happening in the background. From where it comes, we will have to turn on the verbose mode, and we'll see. We'll have to see whether ChatGPT is doing it or the weather API is handling it. Sorry. No, I have not installed any LLM. I am using Open API.
No, so sorry, I mean that's open API, that's OpenAI.
Yeah, Open API LLM.
Better API is something I understand.
Yeah.
It's just an API.
Yeah. Also, my uh,
I know you had a question. That was the last one, and then after.
yeah.
What about other LLMs?
Sorry.
Apart from OpenAI, what about other LLMs?
I-
Use Llama.
You can install Olama on your local system and expose any of the LLMs, whatever you want. it will support DeepSeek. If I change the URL and token, API key, it will work. So it depends on you. You can swap across the LLMs.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Pradeep.
Thank you. GitHub link is also there somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Share it.
all of this is present on GitHub as of now.